Hi, I'm Jordan Belisai, and I've been LARPing at Kingdoms of Novitas since 2005, so that's 19 years now.
James Vertucci. I've been at Novitas since 2006, so 18 years. Yeah.
And I'm Richard Baldwin. Been LARPing since 2008.
I have 100 favorite stories of Novitas, but we can start. Let's start from the beginning.
Oh no.
Let's go from the beginning.
Okay.
In the before times.
Oh
So my brother used to come with me, and for context, he's like 6'3".
He's huge.
Yeah, I'm 5'4".
And his arms are like...
Yeah, he's a giant, tall, skinny man who's like super athletic, and he used to do the craziest things in the world. So him and I went out as ninjas. We were ninjas. We were trying to assassinate people. He crawled on the roof of the inn, and nobody had done this before.
For a good reason.
For a good reason.
Gravity.
Gravity. Yeah. So he crawls up on the inn. Well, he can just reach and pull himself up, and I'm like, help me! Swear to God, it was so funny.
Yeah.
And he just grabs me and picks me up like a toothpick.
Yeah.
And so we're on the roof of the inn, and you hear all the inn people are like, something's up there. What's on the roof? They're like, oh, it's just squirrels. Like, nobody's going to be on the roof. And you're like, and it's like just my brother running across the roof. Like, and they're like, what the heck is that? And then someone like walks outside, and the first person that walks outside, he jumps off of the roof and just like, blah, 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 murders them to death, and then runs into the darkness. And everyone was like, what just happened here? And he was like that guy who did all those weird things. Like, him and I are the reason you're not allowed to climb on roofs. You're not allowed to climb up trees. Basically,
Sleep 30 feet up in the air.
Sleep 30 feet. He is the reason we're not allowed to climb. It's my brother's fault. Like, you can't climb because he would just like appear out of things and then kill you and then be gone again. And it was fascinating.
Yeah.
So there's one story. I'll let you guys go, and then I'll tell another one.
Okay.
What's your favorite story?
I don't know. Like, once a year we do these end of season awards, kind of things, and twice I've won like the most heroic action, and it's not because I was like shooting for it. It's always like this moment when you're kind of at your weakest.
Yeah.
And it's this moment when you're trying to save someone else, you know, and it's this like neat thing that really kind of sticks with you. And one was like easy. You were just there, right? And then like I was, the first character, Ambrose, had a big old shield, and he was like, always the middle of the party, called the Oddfellows. And so we went out to this fight, and there was stakes. The other guys had like unburied like one of our allies. Had their bones and had someone like eating the bones, like desecrating the dead and stuff, and we're like, no, that's terrible. And so we go out
of Ajax.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So they had like a Kazvac like eating the thing, and we needed his bones to save the world, basically. Okay. And so we go out. I'm the center. We and everyone's like arrayed how they are. And then I get kind of knocked out of the fight with a spell. And it's, forgetting the name of the spell, the one where it's like a timeout.
Banish?
Banish, yeah.
Banish?
So I got banished, where I had to like stand and watch as the rest of my party got like killed, like all of them, and so you got 10 minutes to kind of like think about things and be terrified and be like, I have just all these emotions and stuff and you can't interact, you can't do anything, you can't like yell out and say like, watch out behind you. You just gotta take it. And so after 10 minutes, I think they might have like wounded a couple people or something. I fought like I've never fought before. Like when the time calls, you answer or you don't.
Yeah.
And so I went through and like killed everybody, of the bad guys, and I think I like their leader started like saying stuff to like get in my head, and so I like silenced him just so we could like fight, you know, and so kill the guy, save everybody, and then like that character he like raised up one of his friends and then just like starts crying, you know, like because like he saw all his friends and like it's in defense of his buddy and stuff, and so that was like most heroic, but like heroism isn't like a big guy on a poster all the time, you know.
Yeah.
It's a little more like, you know, that sadness and like fear for your friends and stuff like that. The second one was like kind of similar, but like a lot more fun, because it was the second character. He's like an infiltrator, you know. He's the guy in the woods. He's where did that guy come from, you know? And I was there with another friend, and it was like us in town. And then like all of the zombies came in, you know, we had our like hide under the log moment, you know, kind of thing, where it was, you know, like 12 undead or something, and it's like me and my friend and no one else, and so they kill my friend, and I like run into the woods and just wait, and so they take the body, and you know they're starting to do like some sort of ritual to like, you know, like turn her into like an undead or something like that, something terrible, and so alone I just like tracked them through the woods and like ran through and you know used all the old guy tricks of like, you know, how to walk quietly in the woods, and until they thought all the heroes who were like coming into town was like the actual threat, like they couldn't see me, and so then I just quietly went in and like one at a time took out one, and then like they went down because they, you know, I was coming from a direction they didn't expect. And then like got my friend and like dragged her into the woods, and then like healed her, and then like went and got another undead and, you know, dropped them down, and you know, and then, you know, saved her life, and you know, but it was
that's cool.
It took a long time. It was like my longest stealth, but it was. I think that answers the question.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I have 3 moments I'll share. It's hard to like narrow them down, and they're probably not my favorite, but these are the ones that stand out the most and have been consistently stand out. My very first event, it was Friday night. It was pitch black. I was a Kazvac with Dan. And Dan is like the OG guy. He like one time there was some coin that like fell or something, and I was going to like help him pick it up, and then he like almost stabbed me to death just for me helping him pick up a couple coins.
Yeah, it's his coin.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, chill out. Like, you need some therapy. But me and him were NPCing my first event. And I'm like, we're deep in the woods, and we're Kazvac, so you can't see that well. And we're like hiding on the side of the hill. I'm like, oh man, I'm 15. I'm in the middle of these woods I've never been to with some guy I've never met before.
Sure.
And I'm there, and I'm like, and then we do the counter, we do that kind of thing. And then the next morning, he's like, oh yeah, that's where we were. And I was like 50 feet down the path. And I'm like, that's all we were.
Yeah.
And then it just like blew my mind. I'm like, wow, you can really be deep into this experience, and you don't even realize where you are. The second thing, and Jimmy, you might remember this one.
Is it the one I was going to tell about you?
Oh, I'll let you tell it. I'll say
Is it the one going to save the town?
Yep.
Okay, I have to, because the
You
POV view I had is perfect. So we're the only group left in town. This is our first group, so the good guys group. I will not say the name of our group. It was bad. We were young. But there's 5 or 6 of us. We're sitting in town. The entire town had left to go to back in Pinedale, the Shrine of Draconis. So the Shrine of Draconis was literally 2 miles away.
It was so far.
You had to walk 2 miles to get to it, and it
through a swamp and on top of a hill.
Yeah, through a swamp on top of a hill. It was a hard place to get to, but really, really cool encounter spot.
Yeah.
So basically, the whole town goes. Unbeknownst to us, the encounter was meant for us, and we didn't know that. Well, the whole town gets trapped there. one person gets. Do you remember who the one person who came back was?
Was it Chuck?
It might have been Chuck.
He was always the runner.
He was all fast.
It's like,
so he comes back and he's like, everyone's in trouble. Like, you guys are it. We need your help. And we're like, got it. Jordan was the only person game at that time as well with an elven steel sword. He had like a shorty. And he used to wear chainmail and fight with 2 swords. So we're all going. Jordan's gung-ho through the woods. We're all following him.
we don't take the path.
We don't take the path because we know how to get there. And we can we hear them and we see the lights. Like eventually we get to a point where we hear them, see the lights. So we took this shortcut off the trail. Well, there's a stream that's probably as wide as this here rug in front of us, which is like 2-3 foot. That's it. Well, Jordan's wearing chainmail, like real chainmail, like 60-pound heavy chainmail.
And it's it's late.
Yeah, it's late.
It's late.
It's like
We're tired.
10:30, 11 o'clock. So he goes to jump over this little creek, and he doesn't quite make it. And he goes into the creek, and we're like, okay, it's a little teeny guy, right? So you're only going to go up to your knees? He disappeared.
My whole body underwater.
Disappeared. All that was left is his sword. He's like, he disappeared in the water, and his sword's just in the air. And we're like, where did he go? He just did. And guess what? He got out.
And we kept going.
Soaking wet, and he beat all the monsters to death.
It was. I cannot imagine.
Oh.
Man.
Because I was so scared. He's like, my friend, I just saw him in front of me. Gone.
Just
Disappeared. Oh, man.
No, I never jump over.
Yeah. Lake in the lake and Jordan at the creek.
The other one that I loved, so we talked about the Nightmare Legion, right? And they had their leader, Marius. And we're like, there's certain people that the Slate Stones didn't like. Like, there's certain people who were out to be against us. Bob Manning was the one person I wanted to kill more than anyone,
he got away.
but we couldn't agree as a group to kill him. But he's like the only person I really wanted to kill. Sorry, Bob, if you're watching this.
We love you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It was all in good fun.
It's a compliment, right?
Yeah.
But so there's a bunch of people sitting out on a camp. They're sitting out at the campfire. The whole Nightmare Legion. They're sitting in front of their cabin, having food, talking, that kind of thing. Then their leader walks out. 20 feet into the woods or something, and this is in the middle of town. Like, all the cabins are here,
middle.
and there's trees in the middle of it. But it was nighttime, so you couldn't really see. Pardon. The GMs made this dagger that was a really terrible idea. Do you guys remember what?
Yeah.
Elven Steel Pierce.
Yeah, Elven Steel Pierce. Every time it hit for pierce damage,
So
and it was Elven Steel.
Armor
And so we killed their leader, who had all this armor and everything, with Elven Steel Pierce dagger.
Why was he in the woods?
I don't know.
No, he went to go talk to
Steve.
Steve's character.
Oh, Steve had it pulled out.
Yeah, they were going to he thought it was like a truth talk, and it ended up just being straight murder.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we
white flag, yeah.
Yep.
So we murdered him. No one heard us by the fire. He drops. And then we're like, oh man, he's so heavy because he has all of his plate mail on and everything. So then we start stripping him of his armor, and we literally have to take it off so then we can drag him. Then we drag him far enough.
Go up and around behind the cabin, and then took 20 minutes chopping him to pieces.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a wild time. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, and speaking of items that GMs learn not to do or make again, there's this chessboard.
Oh, the chessboard.
And every chess piece was this epic magic item. And they're like, okay, we're going to put all these chess pieces out. Everyone's going to group together as the town, pull them together. You're going to play a game against a high fae, and then the plot's going to be over. No one's given up their epic chess item so someone can play a game.
Yeah.
Some got thrown in the lake.
So yeah,
it was fae or bad or it's how you create a plot. Can be really interesting, and instead of having there's only one way the plot works, having something where you have to there's 5 things, but each side needs 3.
Yeah.
So then there's some wiggle room, something like that. You can kind of structure the plot a little more broadly, and then one choice doesn't kill the plot.
Yes.
But it keeps that rivalry kind of going. Like, oh, they got one. Well, we got two, so we gotta get that. Gotta like close it off to them. Yes, one. There's only one joke. We're very serious.
That's the joke.
The Orca clock.
Oh yeah, Orca clock.
Orca
Okay.
clock is a thing where we don't do it anymore because there's no need to. But orcs would on Saturday morning, 10 o'clock when shift would start, there would be orcs with a big old drum, and it was very reliable that the first thing every time at Saturday at 10 o'clock there would be orcs with drums. Okay. So, naturally you'd say, how did Orca clock happen? 10 o'clock on Saturday is Orca clock. Well, there were, some players who stayed up very, very late the night before and might not, wake up at, say, 10 o'clock or in time to, get into character. And so, the GMs who had woken up early to, run things said, well, if I'm awake, everyone else will be. so that was the beginning of drumming orcs and all of that. So the orcs would make sure to spend a lot of time right near the cabins, banging on the drums, and it was kind of a alarm bell of some sort.
And so this is back when we had a short test period with fifth shift. Dun, dun,
Oh
dun.
yeah. We had fifth shift.
It was between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. And all it was epic monsters to kill non-stop. You'd have one GM, maybe 3 NPCs, and they'll throw out the biggest, baddest monsters to grind you through. And some of us in our younger days did this, and it was awesome, but then it just made you drag the rest of the game, and it really drained
Yeah,
me.
I think that's the first one of those was the event that broke my ankle,
Wow.
and I just kept running on it.
Yeah. No,
Don't
take
do
care of
that,
yourself.
kids.
Ankle buddies.
Take care of yourself, kids.
Yeah. Yep.
Sprain. Jordan's the first broken bone.
Yeah. So
Self-care is a thing. Yeah.
So the Slap and Tickle had tons of jokes. I think one of our favorite game that we had was murder the next person who came in the door. And so how you would play this game is
I think
everyone
it says what it says on the tin.
yeah, but no, there's a little bit more finesse to it. We would all, so we'd be like, okay, are we gonna play the game? We were like, we're gonna play the game. So we announced to everyone in the Slap and Tickle, we're playing this game. If whoever wants to play, put 10 coin in our Sanctuary Magic Tinkering item,
Okay.
and the next person who comes in the door, whoever murders him, or her, or them, they get all the coin in the thing. If no one murders them, everyone who wants to keep playing the game puts another 10 coin in. And you keep doing that until someone comes in. It was the best game ever.
That reminds me of the Convergence game.
Yes.
So the Convergence game was basically Convergence, or very close to Convergence. Next person you saw, it started with a group called NSGG, and then the Brave Companions took it over. Basically, you just blew up somebody before Convergence. You just murdered them with everything you had.
Had left at the end of the
Yeah, you're like,
before your
"Oh, no!"
magic
And the poor
resets.
person,
Yeah.
you're like calling an unexpecting PC over. You would heal them and stuff afterwards, but yeah, just ridiculous nonsense.
Yes, the next game.
100% that. And the new people running things. Because if I am still running something in 20 years, just put me to bed forever. I think it should be passed on. I think that's a healthy way to do things.
I really want to see what stories they write for themselves.
Oh yeah.
And
100%.
what kind of things they really dig into and lead, and who they bring with them, and how they approach different encounters.
Yeah. I think some of my greatest enjoyment now as a veteran player is watching the new people in my group build the stories that we are talking about right now, that we've already done and we've seen, and we continue to do. It doesn't stop. But watching the new people go through what I did, or similar, it's so so like heartwarming and just really cool to watch. So I hope that continues.
Yeah, I love being surprised.
Yes.
You know, like seeing what people bring to, you know, what characters they bring, whether it's like an NPC or, you know, a player, what, you know, there's always something new, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking forward to, is those new stories.
In 20 years, I think we're at an amazing site right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this site has so much opportunity, and I mean, we could get up to 200 people.
We really could.
And we could sleep most of 200 people, I think, at the site,
Mhm.
and just the kind of community that we could build. So in 20 years, I think in the first 20 years we started with like 14 people, and now we've gotten up to 100, maybe a little over 100.
Yeah, we average about 75.
Yeah.
I would say is our new average.
Great.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if we could double that, if we were averaging 150,
Ooh, yeah.
imagine what the possibilities are. We have a group in Northtown. We have a group in not Potato Town, Old Maplewood. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, there's so much
much.
property there. There's so much. Don't explore too much, or you'll find some things that you shouldn't be finding.
Yeah, you'll find all the stuff I buried in the woods.
Yeah.
Right. Look for it.
Yeah.
But if you do, tell me, because I forgot where it was.
Yeah. Some of it I did.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope other people are in these seats. I hope in 20
Yes!
years,
Yes!
it's not me.
Yeah.
That it's other people, and they're telling their stories and what they like and how it's changed for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
But yeah, actually, just try it. So, I mean, I'm telling you from personal experience. I made fun of it, and I did nerdy things too. It wasn't like I wasn't a
And you
nerd.
did it with like duct tape.
Yeah, duct tape sticks. We literally just beat the living heck out of each other. It was, it wasn't far off. But don't knock it until you try it. Give it a try. It's okay. Like, I understand that feeling of like maybe embarrassment or you're just pensive to try a new thing. You're like, you're not quite there. Just do it. It's okay. None of us will judge you. I promise you that. No one's going to judge you for trying it.
Because we're all doing it too,
Yeah.
and we're in the middle of nowhere, so no one else.
And
is
if you
gonna
have
see
people in your life that are judging you for something that you want to do, well, maybe those people need to come try LARP too.
Yeah. I guess my advice is like, you know, for sure give it a shot, but you know, it's fine. There are multiple ways to have a great time, you know, and like kind of thinking in like black and white terms can be like you know, difficult way to like analyze anything, but just, you know, realizing, you know, hey, this you guys are having fun, you know, maybe that's not for me, and approaching it in that way, but then trying it and seeing if maybe it's for you, you know, and if I had advice for like things for someone who hadn't come yet, you know, thinking, you know, what is game like, you know, there's a ton of videos where you can go on and see our culture. Like, we put that out there so everyone knows what we're about, you know, like watch the behind the scenes, watch the great like the movies, you know. You know, some of those like live rent free in my head, you know. And if you see anyone there, like, there's lots of ways to do it, but if you see a little bit of yourself in any of those people, I'd say give it a shot, you know.
Yeah.
Or you see someone that you would like to be like, you know. And that can be like, you know, heroism. That can be a villain. That could be, you know, LARP can be a great way to like try on different things that you just cannot do in our society, you know, in a safe way. So, you know, watch those videos and, you know, get in contact with us. We have like lots of people who are all about the new player experience and, you know, like talking, answering any questions. When I came for the first time, you know, saw the picture, want to be like that kid. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any like, I didn't have that in other than, I put down money and said, I'm here, and for that little thing and, just being, a human and hanging out with people, I found a wonderful community. So that's what I would say.
And you don't have to know everything. Like, you don't have to learn, like, sometimes when you talk with that first person from Kingdoms of Novitas, they'll tell you a bunch of things, and it'll feel really overwhelming, but you can literally know nothing, and if you're ever confused, just die. Because you're not going to die in real life. Literally just die. You're out of the situation, and then 2 seconds later, you're going to be on a different role. It's okay not to know things, and that's the joy of it, too. You get to learn more things as you go. So just try it, even if you do it for one shift, and then you're like, hey, I did it for 5 hours or a couple hours, I need to pause. We've had some people that have just day tripped for a little bit, and then they come the whole weekend. And I always recommend bringing in a PC your first time. I think it's great, and it's more risky, and you're just like, I'm gonna die, and if you don't die every event is your PC, you're not playing the game. Like, you need to die every single time, or you're not pushing yourself enough. Like, I'm level like 150 with like 50 levels banked.
Agreed.
And I still die every single event.
It's okay to die. Yep.
It's okay.
Yeah.
My last piece of advice, invest in good footwear.
Yep. Socks.
Oh, yeah.
Liner socks. Liner socks are like the new it thing. Yeah. Socks in your socks. No blisters. Only joy.
Now it sounds like a bunch of old men talking. Invest in good footwear, kids. You'll get the bunions.
Bunions.
And you don't need tons of garb.
No,
like,
you don't.
You can go, you'll get outfit, like, just have that base layer of just a neutral color and some good shoes, and change of socks, and shower.
Give it a shot.